Here's a test fit kit after soaking in acetone for overnight. And you can see that the all the parts had come off already. So I'm going to take them back out and prepare them for painting. Well, welcome to my homemade spraying booth. Since this is a simple way to build a 1/43 scale metal model cars, so I'm trying to use a spraying can paint instead of using my airbrush. The primer I like to use is Mr. Servicer, and these comes in a spraying can as well as comes in bottles. The body and the bottom tray of the model takes a bit more time to finish. That's why I want to spray them first, because after priming I need to sand them and then re-prime and then put on the camel yellow for the body color. So I'm going to spray these parts first. Well, when using spraying can, first of all you need to shake it up very thoroughly. And I'll take the stand away from the... Okay, I will switch on the exhaust fan. I hope you can still hear me. Now when spraying with a spray can, it's better to do it in a short burst way. And start spraying away from the model and go across the model until the paint passes the model all the way. Okay, don't put on too thick a coat, and let it dry. And then next I'll do I'll spray the bottom tray. I'll wait for them to dry, and then I'll come back and check to see if I need a second coat. While waiting for the primer to dry on the body and also the wings and bottom tray, I want to prepare other parts for final painting. One of the things to do is the safety belt. As you can see, the safety belt, it comes in photo etch parts. So first thing to do is to cut the parts out. To cut these parts out, of course, I have some pliers to do that. But since not everybody has those pliers, so I just use my modern knife to cut them out. These are relatively thin photo etch, so it's quite easy to cut them out from the thread. I have a pair of photo etch cutter, and it's from Ceron. This is the old model. They have a newer model now, but I think this one is, for me, it's better than the new ones. So I can easily trim the gate of the photo etch with this pair of pliers. After trimming these parts, the next thing I want to do is to anneal the photo etch parts. You've probably seen the lighter on my bench, but I don't smoke. What's the purpose of this lighter is to light up a candle. And then I use this candle to anneal the photo etch parts. I heat the part till it's red hot. Don't overdo it because the photo etch part is so thin. You may even melt it with the candle's flame. So once it's red hot, then you take it out of the frame and let it air cool. So I'm going to do the rest of the parts. This is gonna take some time. I will do it off camera and I'll come back and show you the result. Now I have finished shipping the safety belt. Now what I need to do is to give the safety belt parts a little rub down to get rid of the oxidation, and then I'll glue them to the seats for priming and painting. For the final assembly of the model, I like to use 2 parts epoxy glue. I have this 4 minutes one, and these are gray in color. This one is the hardener. And this is the resin. I usually squeeze them out into two separate parts, and I will only mix as much as I need. In this case, I will mix a very small amount. Try to get as much one-to-one as possible. This set of glue will harden in 4 minutes, so I need to work pretty fast. And of course you can use super glue, but I always like to use epoxy glue because I think they are stronger and they dry slower, so you have time to move the part into the right place. Okay, now I'll let it dry to full strength, maybe around 10 to 15 minutes. All the parts of the safety belts are all dry. I'll introduce you to a very interesting tool. This is a fiberglass brush. It's a small version, that's a bigger version, but this is a small version. What it can do is it can polish the metal. I'll show you in close-up what this brush can do. See, it's all polished up, and the oxidation of the edge parts during heating, it's all cleaned up, so it's ready for priming now. The one thing about these brushes is all the little bits and pieces that falls all around and that broke out from the tip of the brush, they're very thin, so they may sift into your skin and all that. So make sure you don't touch the surface after you brush it, and dust off everything on top of the working surface. This concludes part 3 of the build, and in part 4 I'll be painting the model and maybe final assembly. Until then, bye bye.